Lieutenant Governor please welcome his
I created New Africa.
Philip Brown, guest on the stage. Welcome. Thank you.
People that will come in a later date or a later time, but Father, you, I want to go.
Yes, sir. College to go and ask what is looking like in the future.
Here's when I start up before I ask my question.
Benedictions and healthy younger because
Can I add something? I think you were let's start. My house it's not recognized. It's around that.
started targeting
being told that it is okay.
Good, very good.
So a part of
And I really appreciate there are a lot of people who are actually
Just point across the.
For me, healing is a lifelong process, and I'm still on it. In the words of Mother Teresa, she said, if everyone swept their this world will be clean. I am trying to sweep my own room, my backyard, my room, my house, my community. And that sweeping is part of my healing. And partly doing this community work, engaging community leaders, policy makers, practitioners, people with lived experiences of mental health and addictions is part of healing. It's a process, and for me, I've created a consulting firm, coaching firm, which is called Hearts to Heal Coaching. So dealing that and starting from within. If I start from within, I know that I'm that right path, and it's continuing a journey.
The takeaway or the main highlight of the event. The main highlight of the event from that perspective is where we are interacting one-on-one, and the listening from the indigenous person, pouring her heart out and say, hey, this was how I'm going to report like her personal opinion, but it was like, hey, you provide lip service in form of non-acknowledgement. However, we need to walk the talk and be able to recognize that the indigenous people of this land need some of these very important mental health services and support. And in so doing, this person raised this concern directly to the concerned someone from the ministry, someone from Health PEI directly, those that are in fact in the mental health and well-being department. So which means there's a very clear impact, and that I do not think that that question or that comment left the panelist the same, and she's going to take it up to her superiors and make sure that they model some programming that can be able to take care of everyone, because mental health is not just an individual, it affects everybody, and more so marginalized communities. And so if that conversation is broadened to that aspect, even when I was seated there, I could even feel that, okay, the newcomer population yes, we may actually contribute towards their well-being mentally, but those that are here, the indigenous people, also now needs the same support services based on the conversations that took place here today. And for me, from a technical perspective, I'm going to encourage my brother Henry to actually incorporate some of these services into the programming of New African Canadians, so that even we extend what you call peer, because he's in the peer education kind of like educate to educate. So you can be able to train the indigenous person to educate or counsel, or so we can be able to create a more chainable kind of support services or a wraparound services to be able to support the communities.
The importance of conferences like this, I think, is the ongoing conversation. This is more like a journey than a destination. And with the stresses and mental health issues and the fact that we ask most of our people to live on the edge economically, and that creates a lot of stress in people's lives. We can get through it, but we have to keep talking about it. And when we have a conference that is so focused on bringing together people from different areas and listening to each other, that's the best way to get the ideas flowing and figure out what kind of policy change we can make, but also what kind of resources people have access to in our community.
I'm a Two-Spirit Indigenous Queer Outreach Coordinator for Peers Alliance, and I'm an Indigenous social worker. So for Indigenous people, mental well-being, our communities are suffering. And it goes beyond just the impacts of residential school and the 60 scoop system and all the direct impacts of colonization, which I'm pretty sure at this point in time we're all aware of, and the ways in which it broke our family systems. And for us, mental well-being is about reclaiming some of those core values and understandings of who it is that we're supposed to be. Now we realize we're not going back to, using canoes to get around Canada. And a lot of times people say to us, well, if you want to be Indigenous, go back and live in a teepee. Well, I didn't live in a teepee, my people didn't. They lived in longhouses. But we realize that that's not realistic, and that we believe that there is a way for us to live in harmony with our environment, and we have the technology now. And the fact that we are not utilizing the technology, but rather to do that and to maintain this entire system for everybody's betterment, but rather using that technology for a small amount of people to get exorbitantly rich plays a toll on us. And we want a world where we live not necessarily independently, which doesn't mean not autonomously, because we believe everybody has the right to their own spiritual practices, their own belief system, but they also have a right to find out what their gifts are. And that those gifts should be acknowledged and upheld, but that should be done in a position of responsibility to each other, like to ourselves, to our families, but also our communities, and then to the greater community, and then also from there to creation itself. And yesterday when I talked about Maslow, that's the system that he saw when he showed up in that Blackfoot village. Was individuals who lived in harmony with each other, but also in responsibility to each other. It's one of the first things that we're taught, besides be kind to everything, including nature, is that we do have responsibilities and that we're accountable for our actions and the ways that we impact other people.